Class 7 Maths, Chapter 1 Integers, Introduction to Exercise 1.2. This exercise deals with multiplication of integers. We can add and subtract integers. Let us now learn how to multiply integers. We know that in integers there are positive and negative integers. Now we will see what will be the result when we multiply different signed integers. So when we multiply positive integer with a positive integer, the result will be a positive integer. When we multiply with a negative integer with a negative integer, the result will be a positive integer. When we multiply a positive integer with a negative integer, the result will be a negative integer. And finally, when we multiply a negative integer with a positive integer, the result will be a negative integer. This chart is very important in your life. Please take screenshot of this chart and keep memorizing it. Now further, for example, if we multiply plus 6 with a plus 6, the result will be plus 36. And if we multiply minus 6 with minus 6, the result will be plus 36 because minus into minus is plus. If we multiply plus 6 with minus 6, the result will be minus 36. 6 into 6 is 36, plus into minus is minus. If we multiply minus 6 with plus 6, the result will be minus 36. Because 6 into 6 is 36 and minus into plus is minus. This way, we should remember what sign we put when we multiply different integers. Now we'll see properties of multiplication of integers. First, let us see if product of two integers a and b is an integer. So what is minus 20 into minus 5? We know that minus into minus is plus. 20 into 5 is 100. So the product is 100, which is an integer. Second one, minus 15 into 17. Minus into plus is minus, 15 into 17 is 255. So the product is minus 255, which is an integer. From these two cases, we learn that product of two integers is an integer. We will see further few examples. Minus 30 into 12. 12 0 0, 12 3 is 36. Plus into minus is minus. Solution is minus 360. So minus 30 is an integer, 12 is an integer, and the product is minus 360, which is an integer. We will see the second one. Minus 15 multiplied by minus 23. 3 15s 45, 2 15s 30. 5, 4, 3. Minus into minus is plus. 15 into 23 is 345. 345 is an integer. So the product of two integers is again an integer. If you multiply these two also, you will get integers only. Hence from this we can say that multiplication of integers follow closure property. That is, product of any two integers is an integer. Now we shall see second property, that is commutativity of multiplication. In general, if any two integers a multiplied by b is equal to b multiplied by a, then those integers follow commutative property of multiplication. So now we will see if this is true with product of integers. 3 into minus 4 plus into minus is minus, 3 into 4 is 12. So the result is minus 12. This a into b. Now we will see b into a. Minus into plus is minus, 4 into 3 is 12. This minus 12. So in both cases the result is minus 12. So a into b is b into a. So we will see other examples. 30 into 12 is 360. Minus into plus is minus. So this is a, this is b. A into b. So now this becomes b into a. Plus into minus is minus. 12 into 30 is 360. So here 360, 360 both are same. So a into b is equal to b into a. Similarly here we get minus into minus is plus, 15 tens 150. Minus into minus is plus, 10 into 15 is 150. So here also a into b is equal to b into a. Similarly here what we get, minus into minus is plus, 12 5 is 60, 0 6, 12 3 is 36, 42. So this is equal to plus 420. Similarly here minus into minus is plus, 12 into 35 is 35 2s 70, 35 1s 35. 0, 7 5s 12 1, 4, 420. So this also becomes 420. So here also A into B is equal to B into A. So what do you observe? We observe that in multiplication, integers follow commutative property. That is, A into B is always equal to B into A. Now we'll see multiplication by 0. We know that any whole number when multiplied by 0 gives 0. Similarly, we'll see what will be the result of integer when we multiply by 0. Here 3 into 0 is 0. 0 into 4 is 0. Minus 5 into 0 is 0. 0 into minus 6 is 0. This shows that the product of a negative integer or positive integer and 0 is 0. Thus, in general, for an integer a into 0 is equal to 0 into a is equal to 0. Now we'll see multiplicative identity of an integer. We know that 1 is multiplicative identity for whole numbers. Now let us check if 1 is multiplicative identity for integers as well or not. So minus 3 into 1 is minus 3 because plus into minus is minus, 3 into 1 is 1. 1 into 5 is 5. Minus 4 into 1 is minus 4. 1 into 8 is 8. 1 into minus 5 is minus 5. 3 into 1 is 3. 1 into minus 6 is minus 6. 7 into 1 is 7. In all these cases, wherever integer we multiply with 1, we get the same number, that is its identity. So minus 4's identity is minus 4, 8's identity is 8, 3's identity is 3, 7's identity is 7, minus 5's identity is minus 5 and minus 6's identity is minus 6. These all we get when we multiply by 1. That is the reason 1 is called multiplicative identity of an integer. That is, whenever we multiply an integer a with 1 or 1 with an integer a, we get same identity of a, that is a. Thus, 1 is multiplicative identity of an integer. As 1 is multiplicative identity, we have 0 as additive identity. Because when we add 0 to minus 4 plus 0 is equal to minus 4, 8 plus 0 is equal to 8, minus 5 plus 0 is equal to minus 5, 3 plus 0 is equal to 3. In all these cases, when we add 0 to an integer, we get same identity, that is minus 4 in this case, 8 here, 5 here and 3. Thus 0 is additive identity. Because when we add 0, we get same identity. Similarly, 1 is multiplicative identity because when we multiply an integer with 1, we get same identity of the integer. So please don't get confused. 0 is additive identity, whereas 1 is multiplicative identity. Now we'll see what happens when we multiply an integer with minus 1. So here minus 3 into minus 1 is minus into minus is plus, 3 into 1 is 3. In this case, minus 6 into minus 1 is minus into minus is plus, 6 into 1 is 6. Here minus into plus is minus, 1 into 13 is 13. Here minus into minus is plus, 1 into 25 is 25. If you observe here, minus 3 became plus 3. In this case, minus 6 became plus 6. Here 13 became minus 13, whereas here minus 25 became plus 25. When all these integers get multiplied with minus 1, the result will be the same integer but with different sign. So what do you observe? We observe that when we multiply an integer with minus 1, the result is additive inverse. The result is additive inverse of an integer. That is, minus integer becomes plus integer or plus integer becomes minus integer. Associative property of multiplication. Associative property says that a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. Now we'll see whether this property is followed in multiplication of integers or not. So we'll consider minus 3, minus 2 and 5 as a, b and c. So here this becomes a into b into c and here this becomes a into b into c. So in this case, minus 3 into minus 2 is plus 6 and into 5 will be into 5. So the total result is 6 into 5, which is equal to 30. Similarly, if we take this one, minus 3 into minus 2 into 5 is minus 10 and into minus 3, which will be equal to 30. So we get that a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. Thus we can say that multiplication of integers follow associative property. Distributive property for multiplication. Distributive property is if a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c, then we can say integers follow distributive property. For example, we will say minus 2 into 3 plus 5, let this be a into b plus c. Now we will directly multiply and see the result. This will be 3 plus 5 is equal to 8 and minus 2 is exactly minus 2. So minus 2 into 8 is minus 16. So this, when we distribute, this becomes a into b plus a into c. So here minus 2 into 3 is minus 6 plus minus 2 into 5 is minus 10. Minus 6 plus minus 10 is minus 16. So in both cases, a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. So we can say that integers also follow distributive property. We will take example 2 also. Here let this be a and let this be b plus c. So this becomes minus 4 into minus 2 plus 7 is 5. Minus 4 into 5 is minus 20. And this is a into b plus a into c after applying distributive property. So this becomes 4 into 2 is 8, minus into minus is plus. And here 4 into 7 is 28 and minus into plus is minus. So minus 28 plus 8 is minus 20. In both cases, the result is minus 20. So we can say that integers follow distributive property. Similarly, we see if distributive property is applied to a into b minus c, which will be equal to a into b minus a into c. So here, let it be a, let this be b minus c. So this becomes a into b minus a into c. So 4 into 3 minus 8 is 4 into minus 5, which is equal to minus 20. And this is 4 into 3, that is 4 into 3, 12, and minus 4 into 8, 4 8 is 32. 12 minus 32 is minus 20. So in both cases, result is same. Similarly, we will see minus 5 into minus 4 minus minus 6. So this becomes minus 5 into minus 4 minus of minus 6 is minus 4 plus 6, which is equal to 2. So minus 5 into 2 is minus 10. When we distribute this, this becomes a into b minus a into c. So minus 5 into minus 4, which is equal to plus 20, minus 5 into minus 6 is minus 30. The result is equal to minus 10. So here also in both cases, result is minus 10. So we can say that integers for subtraction, that is like a into b minus c, will follow distributive property, which is equal to a into b minus a into c.